We are live. Welcome, my brothers and sisters, fellow Nigerians, wherever you are, whether in Nigeria or outside Nigeria in the diaspora. I bring you warm greetings from the beautiful small city of Jefferson City, Missouri. It is 9 p.m. Nigerian time. It is 3 p.m. U.S. Central Time or 4 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. And this is the program called Nigerian Constitution on Your Right. Nigerian Constitution Know Your Right is a program powered by the Global Coalition for Security and Democracy in Nigeria every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Nigerian time, 3 p.m. U.S. Central Time, or 4 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. I'm happy to be your humble host, Dr. Edmond Ikeh. And as always, I try to bring guests, usually in the legal field, to help break down the content of the Constitution, because we want each and every one of you out there to learn what is contained in our Constitution and how it applies to you and how it empowers you to hold our leaders accountable. And today's topic is going to be the political objectives of government. The political objective of government. If you're a regular, you know we are in Chapter 2 of the Constitution, and we're going to run through Chapter 2 of the Constitution section by section so that we can understand it together. So please, as you're joining, take a moment and share the link, and like the link. You know, the more you like it, the more the algorithm is changed to allow more people to view the show. And it's important that more people view it so that they can learn more about the Constitution and be empowered citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, wherever they are. Okay, and our guests today are regulars to the show. They're very regular. So let me bring them to the studio as we dive into the conversation proper. Welcome, Barrister Joseph. Welcome, UC Maxwell. Barrister Joseph, say one or two things to our audience as we get on with the show.
Yeah, good evening, fellow Nigerians. We are here in Nigerian. Good day to Nigerians. If you are in the United States of America, and wherever you are watching us from, thank you for having me, Dr. Ikeh, on your show. I'm glad to be here once again.
All right, thank you very much, and welcome to the show, Barrister Joseph. Always happy to have you. UC Maxwell, I got your message, but I wasn't able to reply. Go ahead and say hello to the people.
Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is UC Maxwell, and it's a pleasure to be here, of course, to give light to provisions of the Constitution. And I apologize, I won't be live with my video tonight, but of course, I'll be a part of the conversation. Thank you, Dr. Edmond, for having me. And Barrister Joseph, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Welcome, UC Maxwell. Welcome, Barrister Joseph. Let's get the show on the road. Today's topic, as I said, is the political objective of government. This is where we'll tell you what the Constitution says that is the objective, the political objective. They have various objectives of government, but today we're focusing on particularly the political objective of government. And we're going to run through the Constitution so you hear what it says, and the good barrister and amiable legal student, UC Maxwell, will add some flavor to the conversation and explain it in a more understandable language that every Nigerian can understand, whether you're a bricklayer, whether you're a mechanic, whether you're a vulcanizer, or whether you are an English professor. You should be able to understand it without any issue. And I will hope at the end of the show that you will, if you didn't understand before, that you will be able to understand that this is what the government is supposed to do. They're supposed to have the political will to do these things for us as Nigerians to live in a better country. So over to you, Barrister Joseph. What do you think is the political objective of government? Just in summary, give us a summary of what you think in your own words, in your What is the political objective of government?
What the political objective of every government, as the case of Nigeria, should flow in what is the motto of the country. And in this case, the political objective of any government at all should be how can such a government unite her people? How can they promote peace? How can they bring about progress among the people? I think this should be what should be the political objective of any government at all. This the government can achieve by providing a level playing ground for everybody, for giving everybody a sense of equality, and giving everybody that sense of belonging and the freedom to associate, freedom to belong to group or any group of his or her choice, for the purpose of realizing the aims and objective that person may have in term before joining that group. So by way of summary, the political objective of every country or any government at all is to promote the unity among the people, promote cultural integration among the people, provide and make sure that there is a safe country or a safe environment for everybody to associate, and this should be done devoid of any discrimination whatsoever, either by age, by sex, or by circumstances of birth. I think this should be the political objective of any government at all.
All right. Thank you very much, Barrister Joseph. I would go to UC Maxwell. As Barrister Joseph clearly stated that the part of the political objective of government is that they have to have a spelled out motto of the government or the spelled out motto of the country, and then inspire to bring that to life or bring that practicality in the context of that country. So UC Maxwell, what is the motto of our country, Nigeria? And do you think that our political leaders have done a good job in spelling out this motto and ensuring they bring it to life in practicality?
Okay, thank you very much. Very simply, Section 15, Sub 1 of the 1999 Constitution provides that the motto of Nigeria shall be unity and faith, peace and progress. So there are four major components that forms the motto of Nigeria: unity, faith, peace, progress. So when we talk about whether Nigeria has been, or the government of the day have been able to, bring in these four components into its governance, is a discussion altogether. So we have unity. How does the government make policies that incorporates togetherness, that brings in, that brings in every ethnic group, every religious segment of the society? Because the drafters of the Constitution recognize the fact that in all our similarities, we are also different when it comes to our religion, when it comes to our ethnic groups, when it comes to our tribes and even states. So there needs to be unity amongst these separate components that forms a whole, which is Nigeria. And in doing this, they have to imbibe the faith in the nation, ensure that there's peace within the nation. Speaking about peace, you have the Sustainable Development Goal 16, which talks about peace, justice, and strong institutions, to make sure that the nation is not, divided, to make sure that there's peace present in the nation and all policies leads to the progress of Nigeria. So very simply, these are the tenets that every governance that comes into power must uphold in ruling the people of Nigeria, which is also the motto. Thank you.
Thank you very much, UC Max. Thank you very much, UC Max, for that wonderful submission. I appreciate that. UC Max, please, can you send the link to join the studio to your colleague, Barrister Douglas? He just messaged me. He's trying to join. The link he has is not working, and with the device I'm using,
Okay.
will not allow me to send the link to him.
I will send it to his WhatsApp DM.
All right. Thank you very much. All right, back to the conversation. Oh, before we continue, let me take some comment. Please, if you're out there viewing this conversation, we want this to be interaction between we here in the studio and all Nigerians out there. So if you have any questions, if you have any comments, please utilize the comment section, whether you're using Facebook, whether you're using Twitter, whether you're watching via your YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, Dr. Edmond Ikeh, or the YouTube channel of the Global Coalition for Security and Democracy in Nigeria. Try to comment, try to ask questions, and learn, because you learn more when you ask questions in the process. So with that being said, I'll take a question, comment from the comment section. And I think we only have one comment so far from Rita English. She said, "Good evening, everyone. It feels great to be here plus on time today." Thank you, Rita, for being on time. You missed the program last Tuesday. Why did you miss it? I did not see any of your comment last Tuesday. What happened? Want to know, and ask question today, because today's topic is very important. That will know the political objective of government. Okay. All right, we'll have one additional guest tonight, Barrister Douglas. Please say hello to the audience and introduce yourself so that we know you better.
Okay, good evening, everybody. My name is Douglas Magaji. I wouldn't want to call my second name because it's quite cumbersome. It's quite complicated. I'm a legal practitioner in Abuja. I work at the Association of Executive Drafting Advocacy Practitioners at the National Assembly, Abuja. Pleasure to be here. My first time on stage, and thanks for having me. I hope to have an engaging session with you guys.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Barrister Douglas Mogaji, for joining us today. I know you're a busy man, so we appreciate your time for joining us today. And today's conversation, we're talking about the political objective of government, and this is focused in Section 15 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended. Barrister Joseph have given us a quick summary of what the political objective of government is, and UC Maxwell took some moment and gave us the actual motto of the country and the role of the government to make sure that that motto comes to life or become practical in the society and the life of every Nigerian. So welcome to the program, Mogaji. So I would like you to tell me the subsection 2 of Section 15 of the Constitution highlighted that the government shall ensure that there should not be discrimination based on race, gender, and so on and so forth. What do you think, in your opinion? Do you think that the government of Nigeria, since the beginning of the newest democratic era in 1999, have they done a good job in ensuring that subsection 2 of Section 15 have been justiciable?
Okay. Now, subsection 2 of Section 15 provides, and I'm trying to access the section so that I can. Okay, it provides that.
Can anyone hear Barrister Mogaji? Because I can't hear him. Can you guys hear him? UC Maxwell, Barrister Joseph, can you hear?
Yes, I can hear him. Just a bit low.
I can hear him. I can hear him.
Okay, I guess it's just me. But please, can you increase your volume so that I can enjoy your your brilliant submission.
All right, no problem. As I was saying, now subsection 2 of section 15 of the Constitution provides for non-discrimination, that there shall be a form of national integration, and citizens of Nigeria shall not be discriminated against on the ground of, it mentioned a couple of things. Let's start from the place of origin. That means it is ab initio unconstitutional for you to be discriminated against on grounds of your state of origin, your local government of origin, your whatever place you hail from. But as we see, that's not the case today in Nigeria, because of course that is the first basis for discrimination. In Nigeria, the strongest and the first basis for discrimination is the place of origin. A person will affiliate himself with a person from his state of origin. Assuming I go to seek employment in a government parastatal, the first question they will ask me is, where am I from? If I'm from the minister's place, if I'm from the governor's place, I am always given preference. And if I'm from the minority, from maybe the have not, from those who are not known, who are considered second-class indigents or citizens, then of course all hopes should be lost. More to that, I think the next item there is on grounds of sex. Gender discrimination, even though we know that the provision of Chapter 2 of the Constitution is not justiciable, that means you cannot go to court. I'm sure in previous episodes you guys must have discussed that this Chapter 2 is not justiciable. You cannot go to court and have them enforced. But it spells out the object of government, what government seeks to achieve, what the motive, the object of the state shall be. Now, the state is founded on non-discrimination on grounds of sex or gender. But if you look at it, the Constitution in itself starts lays the foundation for gender discrimination. I'll give you a very practical example. Section 27 of the Constitution provides that.
So sorry for interruption. You said the Constitution itself laid the foundation for gender discrimination. Please, can you elucidate on that? How did the Constitution lay the foundation for gender discrimination?
I'm going to explain that, what I mean by that. Now, Section 27 of the Constitution provides that the spouse of a Nigerian male citizen can register and become a Nigerian by registration. It did not provide that the spouse of a Nigerian citizen who is a female can register and become a Nigerian by registration. Invariably, if I get married to, let's say, a Congolese, she becomes a Nigerian. She becomes a Nigerian by registration if she wants to be a Nigerian. But if maybe my younger sister get married to an American, even if he wants to be a Nigerian, he cannot be a Nigerian by registration. Why? It is very fundamental that the Constitution itself started discriminating against the female gender from this provision. So while we are saying that the Constitution is a very good document as it relates to guaranteeing the rights of Nigerians, there are still some deficiencies in the Constitution that must be corrected. I'm sure I'd like to take the thoughts of UC Maxwell and Barrister Joseph on this, but I feel the Constitution has laid a very good foundation for gender discrimination. Before we look at other topics like religious.
All right. Thank you very much. Let's hear the opinion of Barrister Joseph on that regard. Barrister Joseph, you had Barrister Mogaji. He said the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I think he quoted chapter section 27, that it laid a foundation of discrimination against women and in regard to citizenship. So do you agree with him in that regard, that indeed the Constitution of the Federal Republic laid the foundation for discrimination, and it's saying something different in section 15?
Well, I think what Dr. Morgan, I don't know what I'm calling him.
He's a barrister just like you. He's your colleague in the learned field.
Maybe I'm praying for him to become a doctor too. But I think what he has said is not totally wrong. But let's let us also understand that the political objective is as contained in Chapter 2 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which is to the effect of the fundamental objective and direct principles of state policies. What duty the government owe us? What is the government supposed to do? And when we talk about political objective, what is the business of the government? What is the social contract of the government? And in this case, based on the motto of the country, as established by the Constitution, is unity, faith, and progress. So the government owes us a duty to create avenue for us to be united. And of course, it's also the duty of the government to create enabling environment for intra or intra inter or intra-ethnic marriages for the purpose of fostering national integration. And again, nobody on the basis of sex should be discriminated. That is not to say that there are negations in the Constitution. There are negations, and that is one of the negations Barrister Douglas is trying to point out. But let us also not forget that this Chapter 2, as it is not justiciable. However, the provisions of Chapter 4 of the Constitution, which deals with the fundamental right of every citizen, is justiciable. And in this context, Chapter 4 has made it very clear that nobody should be discriminated on basis of sex or by reason of his birth or circumstance of his birth. Now, it depends on the interpretation the court will give to that to say, okay, if the Constitution has said this, then why do otherwise? But I think there has been no interpretation to that effect. And I think this is where this program also creates a platform or an opportunity for us to drive advocacy to say, look, if this is part of the Constitution, then the advocacy for the amendment of that chapter, that section 27 he talked about, should be there, because in lieu of many of the international and regional treaties Nigeria is signatory to regarding the issue of discrimination against women.
Thank you very much, Barrister Joseph. You raised a very important point. That is the purpose of this program, to create an awareness. And why we dissect every section of the Constitution. It helps us see the parts of the Constitution that are not right, that does not make sense to the common man or does not benefit the common man, the common Nigerian. And then we'll start the process of advocacy to start clamoring for a change or for amendment or alteration of that particular section or subsection or even a whole chapter of the Constitution. Like in the case of citizenship, why can a man be able to have his foreign spouse be able to get citizenship by registration, but a female who is a Nigerian cannot have a foreign spouse become citizenship? So these are things that we need to, when we have dissected the Constitution, they will realize, oh, this is not quite right. Let us now make it right, because the Constitution is a document that can be amended and amended and amended over time until we get something that is that mirrors the current condition of living of the people of the country. So yeah, thank you very much for that wonderful point, and thank you, Barrister Douglas, for pointing out the inequality in the citizenship provision of our Constitution, 1999 as amended. And hopefully this conversation will open up I'm sure the advocates have already started about trying to make that right. But if they have slept on that, they should wake up and continue advocacy and ensure that there's true amendment to that section of the Constitution. All right, moving forward, I think we'll take a quick break before we move forward uh, to subsection 3. The break is on a program that is coming up, a program powered by the Global Coalition for Security and Democracy in Nigeria. It's it's a it's going to be an online election poll, not necessarily election. It can be called online election on online polling on all 18 presidential candidates of Nigeria to decide who is going to be the top voted in the poll. And whoever is the top voted in the poll is going to be who the Global Coalition for Security and Democracy in Nigeria is going to campaign for or promote going forward. And this date is going to be Sunday, the 23rd of this month, October 2022. And the details are here in this flyer. And it's going to start from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Nigerian time. So it's just a 4 hours window. So please promote this, tell people, and participate in it, and so that you can make your voice heard and make sure that your candidate have more chance and more visibility to win the election come February 2023. Going to start with this, because any candidate that wins, that means where GCSDN or the Global Coalition for Security and Democracy in Nigeria is obligated to promote that candidate. That is the essence of this. So, and the poll is open to all Nigerians, whether you're living in Nigeria or whether you're living outside Nigeria. It's going to be online in the website of the Global Coalition for Security and Democracy in Nigeria. And the website is gcsdn.org, gcsdn.org. So make sure you go register with your email, you go to the website, and there's a software that is using the website for this poll that ensure you cannot vote more than one time. You only one vote per person. And that's why you have to register your email before you can vote. All right, that is our break. Welcome back to the show. All right, UC Maxwell, where are you? I think UC Maxwell is having a connection issue. And the question, and the next question was going to UC Maxwell. Well, he's not here, so I'll put the question to Barrister Douglas. Barrister Douglas, in subsection 3A, it says that the purpose of promoting national integration, it shall be the duty of the state to provide adequate facilities for and encourage free mobility of people, goods, and services throughout the federation. So, do you think, okay, how can the government do this? And have they done it in our country? And if they have not, what do you think we can do to ensure that we get them to do what they're supposed to do? Barrister Douglas.
Okay. Now, the Constitution provides that the state shall provide facilities and encourage free mobility of people, goods, and services from throughout the federation. Now, it's a positive duty being vested in the government to ensure that there are facilities for the adequate movement of properties from place to place, from state to state, from region to region. If you want to have an integrated country, a country that everybody feels along, then people must be able to travel from the north to the south to do business, from the south to the west to do business without any impediment. Look at it. Before colonialism, we had the trans-Saharan trade. Like we had trade where people go to the north to Kano State to buy granules, to buy onion, go to several parts of the country. Like people keep moving from place to place, and this movement encourage. There's what I'm looking for the word, sociological word, cultural exchange. There's a word for it. I can't really remember at this time, but when people move around, they exchange cultures. You learn new cultures. Assuming I go to the east, there was a time I went to the east. I started schooling at the east, Edmond State University. Before I left that place, I could cook oha soup. I could cook a lot of Igbo dishes. I could cook. I learned how to cook, even though afang soup was not a dish that is peculiar to the East. I stayed in Ebonyi State for close to 18 months, and then I could cook some Igbo dishes. I got used to Igbo food to the extent that when I got back to the North, I would rather go for eba instead of the normal two I would have been I would ordinarily eat. So I began to like their food. I began to like the way they do their things. I began to learn little Igbo. I stayed in Yoruba in Lagos for quite a while, for like 3 years. And then I started learning little Yoruba. I started learning how to eat pepper. Of course, if you stay in Lagos, you eat a lot of pepper. I started learning how to eat pepper, and then I started enjoying Yoruba food, Iwedu, Amala, and it's so beautiful to learn cultures, like to cross cultures. I don't know how to put it, but and that's the essence of this session. That the government shall provide adequate facilities for people to be able to move around, for northerners to move to the south without but now if you're from the north, you're going to the south, everybody's looking at you and suspecting you. Is this guy not a Boko Haram member? It's so bad to the extent that you undergo several security checks because of your place of origin. And that was not the intent and purpose of this section. The section intended to compel government to provide a situation where people can move from one state to another, from one region to another, without problems, without bottlenecks, without any issue, so that there would be a promotion of national integration. Secondly, it provides that adequate facilities shall also be provided for free mobility of people, goods, and services. Free mobility. I want to emphasize free. Although we said this section is not justiciable, that means you cannot hold government to ransom, you cannot hold government to accountable for not providing these facilities. But the intended purpose of this is for government to use the available resources to ensure that people move freely from different regions of the country to another regions of the country, so that there would be national integration. Also, paragraph B provides that the state shall have a duty to secure full residential rights of every citizen in all parts of the federation. I shouldn't have a problem living in the far north, even though I'm from the east. I shouldn't have a problem living in the far west, even if I'm from the north. I shouldn't have a problem living in south, even if I'm from the north. Government should ensure and guarantee this. And only when that is on, and if that is done, we can have a situation where, yes, people begin to cross-breed culture, begin to learn new cultures, and then they will have, of course, national integration. If this session is to be implemented fully, a person from, I think, a lecturer was teaching us something, and then he said something that in northern state, I don't know, in one northern state, that the village head was like, they're no more selling land to Igbo people. That's because they come, they buy lands, and they will soon buy all the land. And then the question the lecturer asked was that if he buys the land in the north, will he carry the land from the north to the east? Is it possible? He will develop it for you and leave it for you. Your state will be developed. The economy of your state will definitely grow. So this section envisage a situation where government will be at the forefront of driving cross-cultural, I don't know how to put it, I'm still looking for the English to use, but you can help me, please. A situation whereby cultures can be matched, people can learn from each other, and then socialize, interact with people from different cultures and different regions. That is the intent and purpose of subsection 3, paragraph A and B. Maybe I think I shouldn't have the more.
All right, thank you, Barrister Joseph, for that explanation. Yes, I like how you explained the importance of that subsection and ensuring integration, and when people move from their region to different region to learn about the cultures of their region, which is a beautiful thing, but because our country is a very diverse country, and if you stay in just one region, you will not be able to enjoy that diversity. So hence, it's important that we move around the country, and it is a political objective to make that movement of Nigerian very easy and very seamless. So another dimension I want to take about this is that they say it's supposed to provide facility. What is this facility the government supposed to provide? It's not just the what the National Orientation Agency is supposed to do, but it also includes physical infrastructure like roads. So if we have limited roads, then we cannot be able to move from one region, from the north to the south, or from the east to west. That movement become tedious, and we should not encourage people to move to other regions. So, and the government have not done very well in ensuring that there's enough facility that promote this national integration. The road from Lagos to Imo is not that great. Not even I'm talking about Lagos to Imo. But what about even in the same region? The road from Anambra to Enugu is nothing to write home about, or even from Delta State to Abia State is nothing to write home about. So these are roads even in the same region or in the nearby region. So the government have failed woefully in providing these facilities. So the government, who can say they lack the political will to execute the political objective of government, which is the topic of today, as enshrined in Section 15 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as amended. We are coming to the end of this show, so I'll ask one question each to Barrister Joseph and one to Barrister Mogaji. I don't want you guys to spend too much time on this question because after that, you guys give your closing remark and we close. And I would like to invite more people out there watching to ask your questions so that I won't be the only one asking this wonderful, learned gentleman questions. You can ask questions to help you learn, to help you understand what is the Constitution saying, so that we can hold our leaders accountable. Ask questions, ask questions, ask questions. Very important. You learn more when you ask questions. And these are brilliant minds in the legal field that understand the Constitution and can help you understand it, to help you know, okay, this is what you need to do to hold your leaders accountable. All right? So over to you, Barrister Joseph. We still issue of trying to integrate the country. We said there's a freedom that the government is supposed to provide facilities to encourage this integration. And then another thing is that the government is supposed to give people full, secure or full residence right to every citizen, all parts of the Confederation. So how is that supposed to be? How is the government supposed to ensure that? And are they doing well on that department in ensuring?
Well, like I have earlier on stated, that the fundamental objective of the government, as far as political objective is concerned, is to deepen our integration as a people. You and I know that Nigeria as a country is a country of multi-ethnic group. And as at the last check, we have well over 300 ethnic groups in Nigeria. And considering or bearing in mind the cultural diversity or the diversity nature of Nigeria, is the import of this subsection. As a result of that, the government is supposed to promote federal character. The government is supposed to give a disposition to every citizen that, look, we are one as a people. We are to live devoid of ethnic barriers or tribalism or nepotism. That should be the ideal situation if this section is to apply.
All right. Thank you very much, Barrister Joseph, for that wonderful view. So over to you, Barrister Mogaji. Do you think, the subsection 3D, it says that the government is supposed to promote and encourage formation of associations that cut across ethnic, linguistic, religious, and other sectional barriers. So that is what is the provision of our Constitution. But if you look, you see sometimes the same government who is supposed to promote this, who the Constitution have told you this is what you're supposed to do, or the political objective of your government, but they end up preventing the registration of certain organizations. So if you prevent the registration of certain organizations that cut across linguistic barriers or ethnic barriers or religious barriers, if you prevent the registration of such organizations, then how are you living up to the political objective of government? Example, this program is powered by the Global Coalition for Security and Democracy in Nigeria. Can you believe that Global Coalition for Security and Democracy in Nigeria is registered in the United States? It's a Nigerian organization registered in the United States, headquartered in the United States. But we came to our country, our beloved country, Nigeria, which we're fighting to build a better nation, the Nigerian of our dreams. But the coalition tried to register in Nigeria, and they will not allow it to register in Nigeria. So, and this coalition cut across. This is the beautiful coalition because it's a coalition of people, all Nigerians, regardless of your ethnic background, regardless of your educational background, regardless of your religious association. We have Muslims, we have idol worshippers, we have Christians in this organization. We have chapters in 26 states in Nigeria. We have chapters in 40 countries in the globe. And yet, the government who has been prescribed by the Constitution to promote or encourage the formation of associations that cut across ethnic, linguistic, religious, and other sectional barriers have refused such an organization to register in the country. What is your take on that, Barrister Mortgage?
In fact, I know that the government has failed counter categorical imperative, not only in this provision, not only as regarding this provision of the Constitution. I know of instances where government has, instead of promoting the registration or association of persons from different tribes, ethnicity, and cultural backgrounds, government has tried to draw distinction, like try to draw the line between these tribes, between these associations. So government has failed in this. It's a pity that while we are trying to build a nation where everybody can call his, where everybody can say, okay, I am a Nigerian, regardless of where I am from, government has not in any way done things which would promote the efforts of some Nigerians. It's a pity. I sympathize with the organization because sometimes you really can't predict the government of the day when priority is given to other things other than national integration. And I must say that government has not done anything as regard promoting intercultural marriage, inter-ethnic or inter-tribal marriage, or promoting the association of persons from different ethnic, religious, and other sectoral or other groups, sectional groups. So it's very disheartening to hear that. In fact, I thought the first country, the first government to consider legislation like this that cuts across different tribes and ethnic groups should be the Nigerian government, because we've had cases of national disintegration, we've had cases of the quest for secession, the quest to dissolve this Nigeria into different countries, and people are clamoring, okay, the Arewas are saying we want an Islamic state in the north, Igbos are saying we want IPOB, Yorubas are saying we want Oduduwa Republic, and if there is any attempt by civil society organizations to see that these tribes, to see that these various regions are brought together under the same umbrella, government should be at the forefront of promoting that, pursuant to the provision of section 15, subsection 4, and subsection 5 of the Constitution. So it's section 3, C and D. Sorry, I think government has really failed in this.
All right. Thank you very much, Barrister Morgaji. I think we have come to the close of this program. I'm going to read. I saw some few comments came in during our conversation, so I'll read the comments and then we'll come and give you. Our speaker will have like closing remark. Then we'll close the show. And comments from Prince Erimade Konkons. Greetings, comrade. He said, greetings all the way from United Kingdom. Greetings, comrade Prince Erimade Konkons. Nice to have you here today. Thank you very much. And the next comment comes from Rita English. Once again, he said, my apologies for not being here last week, but trust me, I watched it. SARS. The major problems in Nigeria is that we elect people without the knowledge of our constitution. That is true. There are some people that are senators. Senators are supposed to be part of the lawmakers because Nigeria operates on a bicameral system, the Senate and the House of Representatives. And we have a lot of senators, even House of Representative members, that have not read the Constitution or does not even know what is contained in the Constitution because they take that as a retirement home or a place where they just go and collect money and get a part of the national cake. So you are right about that. So we need to do better in electing better leaders, okay? And next comment comes from Rita English. A perfect example is the current president who started off with his 95% versus 5% vote, which destroyed the unity of this great nation, Nigeria, like never before. That is true. So anybody that you ask that is honest will tell you that Nigeria have never been divided or no government have divided Nigerians as this current administration, because the acceptance speech or the inaugural speech of President Buhari or a speech thereafter when he went to the United States, he said that he will only focus on the 95% that voted for him and then not worry about the other 5%. A president is supposed to be a unifier, is dividing the country at the very onset of his administration. So that is horrible. And that is not what is supposed to be envisaged or that was prescribed by our constitution, especially section 15 that we're talking about today. So you have a valid point there, Rita. And again, Rita, you're on fire today. Wow, you know, and now look at what we just learned from the constitution. It accepts foreign wives, but not foreign husbands. So you see, yes. And we'll start the advocacy. So I hope you join the advocacy, Ms. Rita, so that we can advocate for equity for our women, so that our women can marry someone from Gambia and the Gambian can decide to become a citizen of Nigeria, because that is what is allowed or what is permissible for the men. So it should be permissible for the women, because what is good for the geese is good for the gander. So thank you very much. And that is all the comments we can take for today. So Barrister Joseph, 30 seconds for your closing remark. What do you want Nigerians to learn today from our topic, political objective of government?
Well, I think the unity, the progress, and the peace of this country should be the paramount desire of every Nigerian. So when you have an opportunity to contribute to that, please don't renege in your efforts in doing so, because we don't have a country other than Nigeria. Together, let us build it.
Thank you very much, Barrister Joseph. So over to you, Barrister Douglas Morgaji. Give your 30 seconds closing remark. What do you want Nigerians to take away from today's topic, the political objective of government?
I will adopt wholly what my senior learned colleague just said. And I also want to encourage you guys. You guys are doing a great job. This is my first time of being here. Last week I listened to your program and then I learned a lot. I must say advocacy is not just for the lawyers. It's for the media. It's for everybody. We must all put our hands together and fight for our dear country, because we have no other country but Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Barrister Morgaji. So you see, you have something to say, Barrister Joseph?
No, just to appreciate my colleague, Barrister Douglas Morgaji.
We should always appreciate each other. You know, share the love. Let the love share. Yeah? We are one Nigeria. Where even if our government are not doing well, we have to always do better and be better citizens than the ones who put in place of office. And one day, together, we'll keep working to put the right people in place of power, so that the people that understand the political objective of government and ensure it become practical, that every Nigerian can feel it, can sense it, can enjoy it, and can be pleased that indeed our government is working. When you guys were giving your closing remark, we'll have one more comment. I would like to read all comments, make sure nobody is left hanging and say, oh, I commented and will not read my comments. I'll read the last comment, then I close. Say, greetings all. I'm really glad to be part of this meeting today. And thank you all for the explanations. I really learned a lot. Thank you. As came from Obiuku Amarachi. Thank you, Ms. Amarachi, for commenting and for watching, because we want you to learn a lot. That's why I want to come and comment, come and ask questions. So next time you come ask, bring your question, bring your question, and we are always happy to answer. And please, 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 we are in campaign season. Put your ear down, listen carefully. What are these politicians saying? Are they, and what is their antecedent? Are they qualified to lead you? The lawmaker, those, don't just focus on the president, also focus on the lawmakers who are seeking for seats for in the Senate, in the House of Representatives. Make sure you scrutinize them and then vote right. People that understand the Constitution, who understand that they are governing a people, and these people deserve a better life, and they're going to do everything within their power to give all Nigerians a better life. Those are the kind of people you vote for. So please and please do your worthful, your very best to vote the right people into office. And then God will bless you as you do so. And next week, Tuesday, we shall meet again. I will be talking about section 16, because we're trying to go section by section. We talked about section 15 today. So next week, it's going to be section 15. And I think in this chapter, this whole chapter 2, I'm going to bring the same team of people if their time permits them. So I'll bring, you'll be seeing Barrister Joseph if his time permits. You see Barrister Douglas Mogaji if his time permits, and you see UC Maxwell if his time permits. And if I have anyone that's also interested, any other legal practitioners also interested to join the team to teach our fellow Nigerians, we will also bring that person into the team to make sure we have the best minds explaining the content of the Constitution. And that is where we end today. Thank you, Barrister Douglas. Thank you, Barrister Joseph. And see you all next Tuesday.